dark. The secret to it is that you have to set the seed in your emotion, in your soul. And we tested this, as you heard in the intro, in hundreds of you who came to LITS. Our doctors testing this continuously with those of you who are in different processes with them. You set the seed of, I want to see my mother. I want to show love. And you create that seed, that love, not so strong that you overwhelm the love of the mother. You become that banana. That with it, you get the communication line with the soul of the mother. This is the secret of using the second vision. You can have and you can deal with hundreds of people at the same time. One secret which mankind has not understood about the structure of his eye is the color of his eye, the shape of the eye. You have an eyeball, and then you have a different color circle, which is the shape of the universe, shape of a plasma. Why your colored part of the eye is round? There is a reason for it. It absorbs certain strength fields in the dimension of the plasma. You see that color, the color of your eye, dictates the emotion you carry, dictates even the color of your skin, dictates the color of your hair. Because it's not just a vision, it's not just for you to see. It's the line of emotion. It's why we have different cultural, mental differences in the nations. What we made nations of us, and the cultural behavior we created. A slight change in the tone of the eye creates different emotion. And this becomes part of the characteristics of life. Now, if you look at your eye, you just see the color part. But the most important part of your eye is the white part, not the color part. The color part is for your physicality. The white part is part of your soul. It's where the soul transmutes, where the soul always, irrespective of the color, keeps its communication, its line of opening. We're always looked at the color part of the eye. Our doctors look into it because they are physical doctors. When you dream, you don't go through that channel. When you dream through the white. It's a travel, the space dimension of the soul. This is why when I keep on telling you, you live a two-dimensional life without knowing. The eye of the man looks at the person in front. The soul of the man through the white sees the soul of the person. We have ignored the most important part of our lives. What happened to the blind people? What happened to the people who only have the white? What happened to our children when they are born? Now you understand how much man has ignored the second part of his life all the time. When you close your eyes, when you bring the shutter down, you close the dimension of physicality, not the soul. And this is why sometimes we remember dreams, we see them as visual, because the eyeball has a white with this section, which is a physical part, is part of the same. Some of the fields gets absorbed, touched through it as it goes, and you remember it as a dream. So next time when we ask you to close your eyes, lift the eyeball that most of the white is in use. And then set the seed in your emotion and in the soul that I want to see the mother. I want to see the whole family. My dad, my brothers, half dead, half alive. Some on the moon, some on the earth, some in Africa, some in Asia. Then you understand multiplicity of the power of the use of your soul. Multitasking is not the job of the soul. Always tasking is the job of the soul. This is why you say, I was going and somebody pulled me back. That someone is your soul, which looks through the white. He is aware of what physicality doesn't see, but in openness can instruct, interact with your physical dimension and move it back. You do this through the emotion and the soul when you give yourself cancer. No part of the body of the man, not a single hair, is created for no purpose. Your liver absorbs multifaceted dimensions of energies. You call it different proteins and whatever. The eye of the man has a multifaceted operation. The color part, which creates interaction with the physicality, and a white part where is a communication line of your soul. When you die, your eye moves most of the time up to allow the soul to depart. Physicality has no more use. Maybe now you understand why we do this. Now you understand why many people in coma move to the same position. Now you understand why a few weeks ago when you joined us in elevating the soul of the children, I taught you how to use the second, because you reached the soul of the children. This is why the babies always look deep. Flicking of the eye is for the physical part. And understanding to register the totality. All of imagination comes into the same way. We stare into the distance because we are our dimension of physicality imagination. Now you understand